All right, it's another episode of the Pin High podcast presented by Golficity. We're going to be talking about Sam Burns' win at the Valspar this weekend. Just, young players on tour, just killing it right now. And we're also going to look ahead to the Wells Fargo, where Max Homa, one of the funniest players on tour, is the defending champion. So let's get into it. Wait 1 second. Let's wait for the. You guys hear that?
Yeah, we hear that.
Maybe I'll leave that in.
I knew exactly what you were talking about too when you said it.
Yeah, I live next to a hospital. So anyway, let's get inside the ropes. Sam Burns. I have a love-hate relationship with Sam Burns. Me and my roommate both do, because we will pick him in DraftKings on the weeks that he is not playing well, and we'll be like, you know what, to hell with Sam Burns, we're not picking him ever again. And then the next week, he'll win or contend, and
right.
I'm done with this guy.
I feel like every time we've seen him play, he contended at Riviera. He won here, but I feel like it's been very hit or miss with them recently, just because I feel like a lot of us have picked him to play well. I picked him to play well at, I think, Arnold Palmer. He missed the cut or something like that. It was he had the stats at a lot of places, and he's been playing decent golf, but there's a lot of weeks where he just kind of doesn't show up.
I mean, he's a really quality player. He's good at almost everything, it's just crazy. All these guys coming up now, there's no real weakness in their game.
Yeah, that is such as you see Colin Morikawa. I mean, Victor Hovland's got to figure it out with his wedges. When you think about that, but most of the guys, and I would barely even say that. Most of the guys just are so solid all the way around. It's no longer guys who can only rip it or guys who can only putt it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, instead of just working on your swing, these guys grow up working on absolutely everything. They grind as much on their putting as much as they do with their, just their normal swing. So,
I mean, speaking of Burns, is where he's gone. He finished third at the Genesis after a couple of strings of a couple good results at T18, T22, and then he missed 3 straight cuts, and then a T39, T4, and then a T4 in the Zurich, and then a first place finish last week.
Yeah, ridiculous.
He's kind of all over the place.
Now, what I didn't know that Sam Burns was only 24 going in this week. I knew he was relatively young, but I thought he was in the 26, 27 range.
Mm-hmm.
He's only 24. This is his first career PGA Tour victory. And just thinking about it, wow, there is a lot of young talent on tour. I think I tweeted this out earlier this week on the the Pin High podcast Twitter, saying how it's just been a booming time for young players on the tour, and I don't know if there's ever been this much young talent on tour all at once.
Yeah,
we've talked about it. That's the Tiger effect. Everyone grew up, and everyone this age grew up loving Tiger and watching Tiger, and he did so much of the game of golf, obviously. So
10 of the top 50 players and obviously in the top 50 are 25 or under.
That's just crazy. And
you don't even take in consideration that Jon Rahm and Matthew Fitzpatrick are both 26-year-olds. So it's they're not that far off.
Exactly. I mean, it is crazy that all the young talent has come on tour in the same 2 years pretty much. Which, whatever, that's exciting for the game of golf. It's going to make it very interesting the next 10 to 15 years.
I'm excited to see I'll say I'm excited to see when guys I feel like DJ is he's still obviously very, very good. When these guys are 30 years old, when these young guys are 30 years old, the quality of the tour is just going to get better and better, and you're gonna have so many household names and so many guys who are going to be able to compete and win every week. It's awesome.
I mean, I wonder the 18-year-olds coming up on tour every year, they're only just getting better and better. At what point is it going to be insane for the players, for people to make the tour, just because all these young kids are just so
exactly
good at golf.
And you feel every single year is another rookie last year with Morikawa, Hovland, and Matthew Wolff. That are like a group of rookies who are going to be like compete. It's hard that we're in this age, that we're so excited for like so much golf, even without like 10 years ago you thought like, oh, there's no Tiger or no Rory. It's like why even watch? But now it's like all these guys with such big names. It's awesome.
The future of golf is for sure bright.
Yes, bright as it can be.
Yeah. I mean, like you have Christopher Ventura coming on after like the whole Hovland Wolf thing. Like, guys are only like coming up more. Like it's crazy.
I mean, I read this stat from Jason Sobel, former guest of the podcast, that there's been 31 tournaments played this year, right? And there's only been 3 first-time winners out of those 31 tournaments. So that just tells you how tough it is to win on tour right now. But like it's just so crazy how competitive it is each week.
Right. And then anything else from, I mean, just in general, this tournament, I mean, Keegan Bradley was with him down the stretch with Sam Burns, but he put the only ball of the water of the day on, I think, 13.
Yeah, he fell apart right after that, which is tough because he had I think he had a 2-stroke lead going into the day or something like that over Burns at least.
Right.
So, and then Max Homa was also with him down the stretch, and he kind of fell down the stretch too. So
yeah, he shot.
He could play most consistently down the stretch.
Yeah.
The thing that I saw was funny, you got in here too, is the Bryson DeChambeau posted on Twitter saying like a picture of Sam Burns saying like so thankful for the win, all this, like all his sponsors, and I didn't see this till today.
Yeah,
I was so confused by like I'm like is there actually like someone who actually runs their social media accounts? Like, I feel like a guy like Sam Burns is 24 years old, has his own like runs his own Twitter account or something like that. I would have thought.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably signed to like the same like agency or something, but like it looks like Photoshop. Like I guess it was only up for about 2.5 seconds, I think, but like people have Bryson's like notifications on for Twitter, so like a lot of people saw it, and of course it got screenshotted, and it's like Sam Burns, the Sam Burns picture, it's tagging all of his sponsors, you know, like Callaway and like all that stuff. I'm like that's not Bryson.
It wouldn't have been a big deal if it was someone else other than like Bryson or like one like arguably the biggest name in golf right now.
Probably would have gotten unnoticed.
What?
Probably would have gone unnoticed.
Oh, it would have gone unnoticed. If it was someone like Cameron Tringale or someone like that, we like one of the lower guys to pick on the podcast every week, it's like nobody would have cared, nobody would have noticed, but because it was Bryson or if it was like Koepka or Rory or something like that, it was a big deal and pretty funny.
And I honestly thought that Bryson was like controlling his socials because like he's so like quick-witted on like Instagram and stuff. Like he likes a lot of comments and stuff like that. And I feel like a social media guy is not like going out there just like liking everybody's comments. So
and it's not
like his control for something, but like these like winning posts are probably all generically made by someone so that they make sure that they tag all their sponsors and like all that stuff.
I just find it weird how like if you win your first golf tournament, wouldn't you want like a really personal like thank you to everyone who helped me out? Like obviously you said that in this post, but like you want to make it more personal than that, I feel like, than just a generic one, especially after your first win on tour. Like I feel like a guy like Burns, who's 24 years old, and Bryson, who I forget how old he is, but he's young. Like those guys, like you think they would control their own social media accounts?
You know, that's like a good question to ask. Like, if we have somebody on the podcast, like, I kind of want to ask them that question. Like, all right, like, how much of your social media do you like control, or like, is there somebody else out there just posting?
I'm sure they're given like stuff like posts like for advertisements and stuff like that to make money, but I don't know. This is like I was genuinely surprised if this is true, to find out that these people don't post their first win posts on Twitter. Like I find it weird. I don't know. I wouldn't want posts like that on my
social media. Become like such a business that it's like I feel like at a certain point, like obviously some of it's going to be run by, you know, I don't even know who does that, to be honest, whether it's their agency or whatever, that it's just like some stuff's just going to be like transactional like that.
Yeah,
odd.
it's weird to think about. It just really is.
It's only going to get more like that. So
Yep.
Man, I wish I had a social media guy for.
I mean, yeah. If I had a guy, if I
Lord
had a
knows
guy
I need
post
it.
social media for me, like like if I had to record a video, like just like of me, like I went on Bryson's to look for like to see what there's a video putting on like that holographic line putting thing. Like if I had someone just take a video of me doing that and post on like social media, like by all means, please do. But I don't know. You're right. We're getting to the age where everything's gonna be pretty much sponsored, close to it.
Yeah,
And then so overall, like the Valspar is obviously it's a good course. Not the most entertaining tournament we've had. Better than the Zurich.
Yeah.
For sure. I will say. But this week should be fun at the Wells Fargo. I feel like we got a good field, and just traditionally like it's Quail Hollow. Like it's a good course.
Great course. Yeah.
Weren't you gonna work there?
I was last year. I was gonna work there. I literally was like on my way back from spring break last year when all the COVID stuff was going down. I was sent a form saying like this is what I need to fill out to do it, and then I got on the phone the next day with the guy who was running the thing. He said like we're not like this is over. We're not having the tournament anymore. Like the PGA Tour season is postponed, which would have been really cool. So and I was offered, and there was an opportunity for me to work this year, but I graduate on Saturday, so that wasn't going to happen.
Right. Obviously.
I feel like we should have put in a disclaimer earlier in this podcast. We're having some severe Wi-Fi issues on Pat and Trevor's ends. So
I don't know. We don't know what's happening. My roommates are playing the show, so
here's the thing.
I'm gonna try to cut it up to make it sound good, but that's what's happening. If you can't hear anything,
I have 3 weeks from last Sunday, left of this really bad Wi-Fi, and then I'll be back in Norwalk, Connecticut, and hopefully my home Wi-Fi is quite a bit better. But yeah, I'm on my phone right now, so that's not fantastic. I'm sure you can tell if you're on the YouTube because I literally had to go get my charger and
Pat's
walking around, phone falling on the thing. But anyway, let's get into some more just golf news, golf world news. I saw this on a few days ago, whatever it was. Pine Valley, so obviously #1 course in America, allowing women members for the first time. I honestly didn't know it was an all men club.
I think I had heard it. I just like someone said it, and I just like didn't. I honestly didn't think much of it because it was like I think it was during like when Augusta was all men as well. But I didn't know.
Surprise me.
It didn't surprise me either. Honestly, from what I've heard about that place, it didn't surprise me.
Fun fact about Pine Valley that I just like remembered. I'm pretty sure Tiger Woods has never played at Pine Valley. Like it's the #1 course like every year, and he said that he's never played there.
So you're telling me my dad's played a course at a top 100 course that Tiger Woods has not played?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say I've also played a course that Tiger hasn't played.
Oh, so
Silvermine Golf Club.
Silvermine Golf Club, baby.
Believe me, Charwood in South Carolina for $15 a round is course that Tiger Woods will never play in his life. I guarantee
championship level golf course, right?
Yeah. And speaking of Silvermine,
I think DJ has played the course that I've played at school before. Which is kind of weird, but sorry, go ahead.
And speaking of Silvermine, so our club pro Pete Balla is one of the 4.
There's more than 4. There's 20.
Oh,
so just
20. Sorry, 20 golfers that the PGA Professional Championship last week we were talking about on the pod that got into the field at the PGA Championship at Kiowa.
That's gonna be pretty cool. I actually took some lessons from Pete Bello, so it's gonna be cool.
How'd they do? How'd they work out?
I mean, he fixed some things in the swing. I feel like I got better. That's all you could really ask for in lessons. I went into it not really wanting to tweak too much, and he did a good job. So it's gonna be exciting to see Pete play in this event. Just some other notables. Omar Uresti, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He won the PGA Championships. He's like in his like 50s, late 50s or something, and he just blew away the field. So that was interesting. Also, Alex Beach, who we mentioned last week, and Rob Litbritz, who's seems to always be in the PGA.
Yeah.
Always.
So,
I
where
thought
is he
it was
from?
interesting how there was, like, I was watching a little bit on Tuesday and Wednesday, and there was a ton of like you would think this be dominated by like young guys who hit it like super super far. Like every guy I saw pretty much in the top of the leaderboard was kind of like an older guy like Lebretz or your SD who won. Like they're like 50s, 40s, like that, like you wouldn't exactly think by appearance they'd be like great golfers, but they're just gross.
Now let me
They
tell you,
shot
my guy,
even farther or
my
better,
guy
like,
Pete
all these
had the
days.
ice in his veins. He was on 17. He hit, I think it was a par 3. He hit a pretty bad shot in 17. And he got up and down from like such a terrible spot. Pretty much saved himself a stroke. And then on 18, he like hit the ball into the woods on the left on 18. He had to like chip out and he didn't even get out. And then he had to hit like this huge hook around a tree. And like obviously had a cushion of about a stroke, but he ended up making a bogey, I think, and was in by like a stroke or two. So
That's huge.
down the stretch.
That's like very. I would be nervy over that, trying to hit that hook. Quite nervy. Yeah. Also, joining them, because I guess they're technically exemptions. Rickie Fowler is also getting an exemption because he needs an exemption to get into the tournament.
It's so hard to believe, honestly, that he needs an exemption to get into the PGA.
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for his Spieth like comeback. Like he was
never as good as Jordan Spieth. That's the thing.
No, he was never as good as Jordan Spieth, but he's also fallen much harder than Jordan Spieth has too. So maybe he gets back to where he was before. I don't know. He's still young. He's still young. He still has time. He'll be on the PGA Tour still probably. He's still got a lot of time. He's like 32 young. He's 32, still young for golf.
Yeah, I feel like we've had this conversation like 3 times already in the past 2 months or whatever.
We're rooting for you, Rickie. If you're listening, which you definitely
are. So let's move into who's hot, who's not.
Yeah, I'll go. So we'll go who's hot first. So not necessarily the hottest player on tour, but just something I noticed. Joaquin Niemann, he's made every single cut this season, which is something I didn't know. That actually puts him he is solo second in most cuts, like a cut streak, cuts in a row. John Rahm has the most at 22. And yeah, he was T8 last week, so I figured we put him in the who's hot with that cut streak.
That's fair.
Which means he'll probably get cut if he's playing this week.
100%.
And then who's not? I threw in Jim Herman. For a guy who won like at the end of last year, he's in like pretty terrible form. He's made 2 cuts out of his last 9. Both of those 2 cuts were T52 finishes, so not great. And he hasn't finished higher than T30 this year. And he literally won at the end of last season. So
where did he win? The Greenbrier?
Yeah, I think so. One of those.
I remember I was watching that. I was like recovering from tonsil surgery, so I watched like every second of that tournament in like the Northern Trust. And what a
bad tournament. Yeah, I would say that's an awful tournament to be stuck in your house for to watch.
Northern Trust sucked because DJ.
Oh, that was when DJ was 30 under, whatever.
Yeah, and then
that was a tough stretch.
Jim Herman's winning the freaking Greenbrier Classic, and I'm just watching every second of it, analyzing his weird swing.
Yeah.
So that was the time. So Jim Herman is forever implanted in my brain as that guy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But let's move into People's Champ of the Week.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys seen this People's Champ of the Week. It's on TikTok. This guy on TikTok. His name is Jake Adams. I think he's a comedian, also a golfer. He likes to play golf. And he had a journey where he wanted to hit a golf ball in all 50 states in 30 days. And he just completed that. So
I saw that. So I think the funniest one that I saw, or not funniest as much as I was just like, what was in Iowa? Did you see that one?
Was it with the police officer?
Yeah. I was just like, the police officer was like staged over, like it's like funny, like whatever. But like What club did he hit? Did he like pull out a rain chart? He's like, okay, let me see like if I'm how far I need to hit this, so I'm not gonna hit the building.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That was an interesting one. Like some of them he was at like sick golf courses. Like I think he had one at like Austin Country Club, and then some of them he was just like in the middle of like a parking lot. So
Or in the
I
middle
mean,
of,
that's
like, a
probably,
random
what you gotta
field.
do
Yeah.
that's probably what you gotta do at some point just to.
I mean
to see each other
he
win.
did it. He got 50
that's
stakes
pretty-
in 30 days. Hit a golf ball. So
That's
I
kinda
mean,
crazy.
that's pretty impressive. Yeah. I honestly I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure that now that it's mentioned, it will come up as the first thing on my TikTok.
yeah, probably be
later
on your
tonight.
For You
So,
later.
but I will look for it too. Jake Adams. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that takes a long time. He did it in 30
Yeah.
days though. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah. I also saw something in other people's channel. I saw one girl on Twitter. I saw this today had 2 hole-in-ones in a span of 23 minutes on the golf course,
Oh yeah, in one round.
which is yes, in
What?
a span of 23 minutes. Yes.
I thought that was like I honestly saw that and I thought that was like fake. I'm like, no way. Like
So you're just like dialed at that point.
I
Yeah,
guess.
I mean,
Also-
or just really
you
lucky.
gotta be, yeah, more so just extremely lucky.
Yeah, but you have to be dialed to just be like pin seeking like that.
No, but like you could also be like the Jordan Spieth thing where like it rolls for like
Yeah.
40 yards and like into the green or hits off of something like.
Already,
or, like,
yeah, that's gonna be
weird
my
hop.
first hole in one if I ever get one. Is gonna be one of those. It's gonna be
mean,
like
honestly-
way short and it's gonna like hit something and like roll all the way in. I'm gonna get so lucky.
One of my older friends, his only hole in one was I mean, I think I said this before actually, but he took like schooled the hell out of it and just rolled up around the green on like a 200-yard par 3.
That's crazy.
But
I was thinking something about this story. It's like, could I just say I got 2 hole-in-ones on like 3 and 6 at Silvermine, and just like all of a sudden I'm on Golf Digest? Just said I did
Like,
it
honestly, yeah,
you
but like
probably
it's almost
could.
like
I wouldn't
not
do that,
believable, but
because I wouldn't like that. That just wouldn't be fun.
that would
to
be
me.
such a scumbag move.
But like, if I didn't play golf, like if I'm like one of my friends from home that just like plays like a couple rounds a year max, it's like, why not just do that? If you don't care about the golf community at all, you're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna say I did this. 2 hole-in-ones on 3 and 6.
I feel like if that gets like
no one's gonna have video proof of it. You just get your 3 buddies out there to be like yeah, he actually did it or something like that. Like you just like, and you tweet at someone and like with a picture, I guess, or I don't know, like then people like might like I don't know how you really verify that it's true.
How did this story get verified?
I don't know. Like it was on the PGA. Maybe if it was in a tournament, it would make more sense.
Yeah, because
Like I feel like it's harder to believe if it's.
I could totally see
like random day at Silvermine.
I could totally see like the local news network is like at the golf course, like, and like somebody's like, yeah, like he got 3 hole-in-ones today, and then like there's interviews with like the friends, it's like has their name and like witness, and he's just like, yeah, it was crazy, like he got 3 hole-in-ones today, and this is just like on the local news, like
yeah,
I totally see something like that.
But I also feel like it can't. I feel like people just mix like just the social media days now. Like people like Pat would just make it up and go on the.
Hey, I said I wouldn't do it.
Watch this happen to you when like none of us are here and we're just like, no, like we could go back to this podcast, like episode 79. Like
when we're older, whenever we're playing by ourselves and nobody else is there and we have 2 hole-in-ones in one round, and we can come back to this podcast and say nobody will believe us, even though
I'm gonna have to start wearing like a body cam for like every like round that I play by myself.
I think it's one of the scariest things. I think about it like a lot more often than I should, because I think like obviously I want to hit in the hole, like get a hole-in-one. But if I'm playing by myself, it's like what happens? Like, do I just have to wait for someone to come around and be like, it's in the hole? Like,
you have to scream like really loud and then wait for somebody to come around.
I think I'd have to stand in the tee box and just not take the ball out of the hole and be like my ball is in the hole. Like you can go check. It's in the hole. Like we will go check together or something. Like I don't know what I'd do. I really don't.
You know what, Trev?
I think
If you ever hit a
overrated.
hole, if you hit a hole in one by yourself and you're like in the area, just give me a call. I'll drive over and
Yeah.
verify for you.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
It's
perfect.
so overrated though that people say that. It's like no like rational person is gonna lie about having a hole in one. Like I want it to be like a cool thing when I hit a hole in one.
Yeah, I agree.
Then again, there's not a lot of rational people out there.
There's not,
Yeah.
But I don't think people would ever
also,
accuse me of lying, or they
no.
might.
I think people in the golf community would be very like if you like us if we got a hole in one, we obviously wouldn't lie about it. Like we'd be like we got a hole in one, but like we also wouldn't like say we got a hole in one without actually getting one. Like I feel like there are probably some people out there that probably would do that, which is unfortunate, but
It is.
Wow, we just went so far off with this conversation.
Yeah, we did.
This went from Jake Adams doing some like 50 states in 30 days to us lying about a hole in one.
Yeah.
All right. Also, sorry, another side point of that. But what happens if you get the hole in one if you're just playing with like your buddies and you're doing like a little like 3 club challenge or something like that, and you get a hole in one, and you have to play the rest of the round? Like, what happens with that? Or do you?
What do you mean?
Like, but if you're not actually playing like a round,
yeah. If you're not, because like I think the thing is, I think the thing is, if you make a hole in one, like you have to like you pretty much have to play the rest of the round.
What if you're just playing 9 holes? Like it's an evening round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Twilight 9, like I don't know. Like I think I think if it was me, I know if I made a hole in one like the 8th hole and it's like it's about to be dark, I would literally take a card out and just play the last 9 holes as fast as I possibly could.
No, you wouldn't. 8:15 on a Tuesday night in the middle of June, and you just play the 10th hole just because why not? Like at Silver Spring, right in front of the bag room, and you get a hole in one. You're not playing the rest.
I don't
get up the next morning and like start on.
I guess that's
if that's what you really want. Like
yeah, if you really want to do that, I guess you could
play with suspend. You could play suspended.
Play with suspended darkness. That's true. That happens on tour. It's fair.
Yeah,
it's a fair result.
Yeah,
okay, that's a good solution for it, I guess.
All right, so we've got to do that. Let's do the stat of the week, and then we'll get into skins.
All right, so stat of the week. So I saw this. I think it was on Golf Digest, maybe golf.com. I don't know. So Cameron Tringali, he finished T3rd this week at the Valspar. That earned him just over $407,000, which brought his career earnings on the PGA Tour to $13,743,000 in his total career. Now, with that payday, that moves him to 146th all-time on the all-time money list. And he also passes Brian Davis. So that means that Cameron Tringali is now the golfer with the most career earnings who has not had a victory on the PGA Tour.
I would take it. I'd still take it.
Yeah, $13 million, of course.
Yeah. I'm not going to win one anyway.
If I were him, I would avoid playing in the Puerto Rico Open.
I mean, at this point, like, how old is he? Like, you kind of just want to get a win.
That's true.
Like,
that's true. That's true. I'm saying, but if ever wants to win again after that,
I mean, yeah, we talk about Cameron Tringali like a decent amount on this podcast because he's a solid player, and just to think that he hasn't won on tour like ever, and he's made that much money.
So we're gonna clip this. We're gonna clip what I say right now.
Okay.
Cameron Tringali is gonna win in the fall swing of 2021.
I think he can win the way he's playing right now. I think he can win before that.
And
we'll get into
just so that we can maybe get the clip that I'm saying this in May. He's gonna go Brendan Todd and go back to back on the fall swing.
Oh wow! Now you're getting real bold.
That's bold. That's bold.
I don't know.
Put some money on it. You'll be a millionaire.
Yeah, honestly, probably.
We should call it the Brendan Todd winning back-to-back meaningless tournaments in the fall or spring season, I guess.
Just
fall or winter season.
send like a certificate to that player. Like
congratulations,
you won the Brendan Todd.
You won the Brendan Todd
award.
you won the Mayakoba and the I don't even know the Greenbrier in back.
The Brendan Todd, a relevant excellence award.
Yes, yes.
All right. So let's get into skins, course preview. Do you want to talk about Roback real quick, or do we want to?
Yeah, quick Roback. Like,
all right. I mean, Jeek's wearing a dashing polo right now. I mean, people on YouTube can see it. Yeah, mint with a nice little white collar, almost.
Yeah,
it's like that.
Yeah, it's got white stripes on it, but you can't really see it. But it's mint.
I was wearing my Roback shirt and hat today on the golf course until we got to the 5th hole and we were absolutely downpoured on, and then leave
up there in the pink.
Yeah.
Yep, I see.
I didn't really want to get up and get it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Roback, awesome. I'm hopefully getting the peach one. The peaches just look like oranges to me, like if for a picture at least. So I'm gonna wear that on graduation.
That'll be cool,
even though I like fake graduated yesterday. Anyway, let's get into Roback.
Yeah.
Roback. Go to our bio.
Hit the link in the
description. Bio.
Yeah.
In the Instagram bio, 50% off. You just add to your cart. Quail Hollow.
Yeah, so I'm gonna breeze through this because we've spent a lot of time talking on random things. So Quail Hollow, Charlotte, North Carolina, par 71, 75-21. It's a pretty long course. 2007 PGA was there. Justin Thomas won that. It's going to host the 2022 President's Cup and the 2025 PGA. 2019, it was the 5th hardest course on the PGA Tour schedule. It also has the Green Mile, which is like the closing stretch for this golf course.
Everybody has one.
Yeah, everybody has to have one. I like the name, the Green Mile. That's pretty.
What's ours again? What's the Silver Mine one?
Oh, we're the
Minefield.
Yeah,
Minefield. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So this week's field, 11 of the top 20 players in the world are going to be playing this week. So pretty good field. Key stats to look at: strokes gained off the tee. Statistically, the fairways are the 8th hardest to hit on tour. Strokes gained approach, the greens are 10th hardest hit. And then par 5 scoring, there's 3 par 5s and a par 71. And those are going to be the holes that players are going to score the most on. And then previous winners, we didn't play last year, but 2019, Max Homa, then Jason Day, Brian Harmon, Justin Thomas won the PGA, and James Hahn.
All right. So let's get into DraftKings. But first, I know we're just off track this whole episode. Can we actually put a like you are now entering the minefield at hole 16? Can we just do that?
We should.
Yeah, I could probably print that out. Yeah,
we have to do it.
And
we just make our podcast thing on it. It just stays there.
Yeah,
we have to. Well, if Pete Ballo comes on,
I'll say we have to talk to Pete Ballo about it.
Yeah, true.
We have to let people.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
All right, DraftKings though. I'll go first. So, my first one is Joel Damon, 7,600. Honestly, besides the win, he has not played well. He came in he got cut, or he came in 71st at a tournament. Somehow made the cut right after that. He was cut in a bunch before that, but he was runner up to Homa in 2019. I mean, he did just win a tournament. That is pretty damn good. And also, I just love rooting for him.
I feel like he hasn't played that much.
He hasn't. He's been with the
he hasn't.
Gym Golf in Arizona.
Yeah. But he was dialed in that good video. So
he was absolutely dialed.
So that's what we base everything off of now.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go ahead, Trev.
All right, so I'll go. I have 2 guys, but they're both a little higher salary. But Abraham Answer, I picked him last week. I was all in on him last week. He finished 5th, 8,900. He's playing sick golf right now. 5th place last week. He's a great iron player, great off the tee. He hasn't finished worse since he hasn't missed a cut since February. And he's finished inside the top 27, 26 in all of those starts as well, including a bunch of top 20s. So I think for the way he's playing, still 8,900 is a pretty good value, especially because it's a very good field as well. So he could be someone who sneaks up near the top of the leaderboard.
Nice. That's your guy right there.
That's my guy. Love him.
So yeah, we mentioned this guy a little bit earlier in the podcast, but Cameron Tringale on pretty good form. He's 8,400. He's been T3, T9, T13 in his last three. He's 45th off the tee, 48th approach. The only downside to picking him is he doesn't have the best course history, but I mean, he's on really good form. So I feel like I had to go with it. Also just a really solid player. And then my low guy, I'm going to go with Luke List. He's 6,800, so that's really low. He's made 4 out of his 5 cuts in this event, including a T9 in 2018 and a T16 in 2013. He's a bomber. He's 13th in strokes gain off the tee. He's a decent 87th in strokes gain approach. Not a great putter, but putting doesn't really matter that much this week. The greens are pretty normal. And his putter does occasionally get hot. And at this value, we're just kind of looking for a made cut, and I think he can make the cut at this golf course.
So I'll go with my next guy, my lower pick, 8,100 still, Emiliano Grillo. He's 9th in strokes gained off the tee, 31st in strokes gained approach, and he has some awesome finishes for past couple weeks as well, a T6 and a T2 before being cut last week. And even when he was cut last week, he went 66, 76. Maybe it was just a little blip in the road, one bad day, but I think for someone like him, his ball striking, he definitely could play well here this week.
So my second one is Camilo Villegas. I think he's from Mexico, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, I think he's from another South.
Oh, he might be from Venezuela.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Venezuela. My bad. Yeah, so his past 3 are T11, T25, and T17. Before that, he got cut, and then right before that, it was a T8. So, like, for a guy who's 6,900, I picked him this last week in DraftKings, and he was T11. I mean, he's like very under the radar right now. Like, I going into like last week, I was like, I had noticed he'd been at the top of the leaderboard a lot, just like randomly. I was like, I'm gonna pick him, and
I thought about it. I had him on my radar. I just decided based on course history to go Fluke List over him. They were like the same value, and also he's Colombian, not Venezuelan. We had the right colors, but
that's okay. So that's what it was. I was like, oh wait, no, I see yellow in the flag for sure in my head. It was Colombia.
I wonder how many Colombian golfers there are on tour. Like, there can't be that many.
There
might be a really prominent one. There might be a really prominent one. I feel like it might be a different country. I don't know. Let's see.
Sebastian Munoz.
Oh, that's what it was. Like, not really prominent, but like,
that's
kind of. Yeah. So on that note, we'll move into skins. Jeek will go first. This week we have 2 on the line because I actually hit a bet for once, but Trevor also hit his.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Corey Connors' top 20 last week was T21, so that was a bad beat. But
we almost all got it.
Didn't matter.
Yeah.
So I'll go first. Yeah. So my winner, I'm gonna pick Max Homa, defending champ, even though it's technically in 2019. And the reason I'm gonna pick him, he was T6 last week, T10th at the Arnold Palmer Invitational, and obviously he won at the Genesis. And that's all been in the last 2 months. So he's been pretty good form. Has a solid all-around game, and he's 14th in par 5 scoring. So this is just a course that I feel like he could play well at again.
He also, like, when he won back in 2019, I think he wasn't even known at all. Like, nobody knew who he was at all. He was playing a ton better than he was back then as well.
Exactly. I just feel like he's got that, I'm the defending champ. Like, he's got the confidence this week.
Yep.
With that being said, I love the course history this week. So my best bet, Rory McIlroy, top 10. That's even. Rory just loves this course. He's won here twice. He has a tournament, single round, and total scoring record. And he's been in pretty F form. He was in pretty good form earlier in the season, but obviously he's coming off of a missed cut at the Masters, and we haven't really seen him since. But if there's going to be a place that Rory's going to play well, it's here. So
yeah, I'm honestly like, I didn't used to be much of a Rory guy. I'm still like not really exactly, but like he's been so out of it, the picture recently, that I'm like, all right, I'd be down to root for Rory McIlroy for a week.
Right. I feel like if he's gonna do it, I think it's this week. So might as well take that at even.
That'd be cool.
Too. Like to bet on that at even, that's really good value.
Yeah, for a guy like Rory, yeah, for sure.
Cool. Then Trev, you can go ahead.
All right, so I'll go with Victor Hovland as my winner. He's rounding the form. He finished T3 last week, and he's fourth in strokes gained off the tee on tour this year. He's also finished T21, T25 a couple weeks before that, and had that stretch early in the season where he finished T2, T5, T2. So he knows he can play out here. He's also really good. You really need to hit good long approach shots. Like there's a bunch of long par fours, especially the last three holes in the golf course in the Green Mile, and he's very good at hitting the green from those distances and hitting it close. I think he's like 8th in proximity from 175 to 200, 225 yards. So he's got those long irons down, which I think will be huge for him this week. And my best bet, Brian Harman at -120, top 15 in his last 4 starts, including a T5 at the WGC match play, T3 at the Players, T12 at the Masters, T13 at the RBC Heritage. So 4, you could say, pretty good fields in that stretch as well. Hasn't missed a cut since December, and he already also has won here in 2017. So top 40 at -120, I think it could be. He basically just has to make a cut, and he's played well here before, so I think he could do it again.
All right, so for my winner, I got Will Zalatoris at 30-1. I mean, he's obviously, there's no secret, he's a sick ball striker, and this just kind of seems like a place where he could get that first W. Like Justin Thomas got his first major here. Will Zalatoris, I mean, just like fits the same mold, really good ball striker. I like that, especially at 30-1 with the way like the media has been hyping him up recently. I feel like that's pretty good value.
I like him a lot this week as well.
Yeah. And then my best bet's Justin Thomas top 10 at +110. Top 10 is always like a tough one because you're like, well, you have to play it really well, but it's Justin Thomas. He had incredible ball striking stats last week. And of course, pair that with the course history. First major here, like I said. I don't know how has he done in other Wells Fargos? Probably, I'm assuming pretty good.
Yeah, probably pretty solid, I would think.
So yeah,
not sure.
I'm going with Justin Thomas top 10.
I also have another stat. I have another stat of the week I saw on Twitter, actually. Justin Thomas had as many eagles last week as he did putts made outside of 10 feet. That was 3.
He only had 3 putts made outside 10 feet.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
I wonder if you think any of those eagles were putts outside of 10 feet? Well, double.
I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows? It might have been.
Maybe it was all 3.
Yeah, who knows? It might have been all 3, or it might have been none. Who knows? But that's like for a guy like he's a good putter, and just have that bad of a putting week, I guess was.
Yes.
You wouldn't think it would happen for someone like him.
Mm-hmm. Now, first round leader. This happens every week. Somebody picks a winner, and that's who I had slotted in as first round leader. But I had Will Zalatoris plus 4,000 first round leader. I just really like him at this course, and it usually starts off pretty well. So,
and again, I didn't see that.
Yeah, no, just always.
Nobody does. No, none of us ever see it until we get to the bottom. We're like, oh, that's the same person.
I mean, I feel like it aligns pretty nicely because if you have someone as a first round leader, like they're gonna contend. So
yeah, it does. That's true.
Yeah. So let's get in the clubhouse. Do we know what we want to do this week?
Should we? I could pull up the PGA Tour schedule. Maybe we should try guess where this week.
Oh, guess where?
I'll pick a place. I do need to pick a place. So rules of guess where. We did guess who previously. Same thing, but instead of a player, it's gonna be a golf course. Should we make it a golf course or should we make it a tournament?
Golf course is kind of hard, I feel like.
All right, I'll pick a tournament.
Yeah.
You could ask questions about the course and location, stuff like that.
The course, okay.
Now.
So
you could ask
10 questions?
10 questions?
Yeah, we'll see how 10 works this week. This is going to be very, very rough this week. I feel
Okay.
like for the people.
No,
listening.
I think I got it. I think I'm gonna be good at this. Is it west of the Mississippi?
Yes.
Is it in California?
No.
Okay.
Is it in Texas?
No.
Would you consider it if someone put this to their resume? Would you consider it a good resume booster?
That's a very like subjective question. I'm
Basically,
gonna say yes. I'll say
Okay.
yes. I'll say it's a pretty good resume booster.
Okay, that's like middle of the pack.
I think
That's
I have one in my mind, but I'm not gonna guess it right now. I'm gonna wait and see.
Okay, so has Tiger won it before?
See, this is where it's gonna get rough because I feel like
Well, Tiger's also won a ton of. You're
Yeah.
asking that's a very, very, very broad question.
yeah,
How
but
many
like
tournaments he's won?
Tournaments change though. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
to
bad.
look at
he's won 82 tournaments or 81
Yeah,
tournaments.
that was a bad one. That was a bad one. My bad. That's all good.
yes, Tiger has won this tournament. He's won it
What year?
twice.
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 Okay. Is it a desert style golf course?
No.
Oh, my guess is out.
Okay.
How many questions is that? That's like 5 or 6.
Five. Six.
6.
I think 6.
Oh, I
I need to
feel
look
like
at-
that would be one.
And look at
Honestly, I'm looking up to see where the Mississippi River is in the states of Portugal.
when I said that, I was just like, is that like a good? Like, I don't know where else to really say. You know.
You said Texas and California. I said. And
Okay,
I'm like,
I
it has
will
to be
say
still Waste
Tiger-
Management then, but it's not.
Tiger has won it twice, but he hasn't won it under the same name of what the tournament is now.
I think I might have another guess, but
Ask a question towards it.
I know. I don't. All right, another subjective question, but would like this is it feels like it's similar to the one you just asked though. So like is a good resume booster, but that wasn't my question.
I'm looking up like.
I mean,
what
so just to help you guys out, go to the PGA Tour schedule.
we are.
It's easier to look at.
I honestly wasn't even on that.
Dude,
Has it been played this season?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's big.
Is
That
it in
was a really
Hawaii?
good question.
Yeah.
It is in Hawaii, yes.
Okay. Is it? Oh, it's
narrowed it
one.
down.
How many do we have left?
It's a century.
It's Century.
It is the Century
Okay.
Tournament of Champions. that was interesting. I don't know if that was great.
We got it.
You got it. I don't know if that was great podcasting, but I think you did get it.
I was
Yeah.
so like that whole time. I was like, I didn't know where the Mississippi River was, and then I wasn't even on the PGA Tour schedule. Like I was just pulling.
I mean, I chose
Horses
the
out of
the most West tournament you could possibly choose.
Yeah, I
didn't
wasn't
really
really.
think about that question like at all.
I was only
Well,
thinking
once you
about
said-
the contiguous United States.
Once you said it was West and it wasn't in Texas or California, I just
Yeah, I was like,
automatically assumed
where else
Waste
could it
Management.
be?
I said Waste Management. That was gonna be my guess.
I mean, yeah, I wanted to choose one that you guys were gonna guess, so I was hoping that you would get to the Hawaii question because then you'd narrow
Well,
it down to 2.
The first
I'm
one that
I'm
came
glad
out
you
to
didn't
my
say
head.
the Sanderson Farms or whatever.
I was
No,
gonna
I wasn't
say
gonna
the
choose that
Sanderson Farms too off the bat.
Were you actually gonna choose that one off the bat?
Yeah, that was what. Yeah. Anyway, we should probably conclude this episode. It's literally probably been like almost an hour. It's probably been like 50 minutes.
This was a very interesting episode.
Yeah,
Like I said,
sorry if you came for the picks and you got random talk about.
Yep.
Hey, that's what golf's all about. The
It
banter.
is.
It's all about the banter.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's. What do we got next week? After this,
There's one more tournament and then there's the PGA. So what do
Yep.
we have next week? It's
The
funny because I'm
PGA,
literally
wow.
on the PGA Tour schedule because
Byron Nelson.
Byron Nelson, yes.
Crazy. All right.
PGA.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll see you next week at the Byron Nelson. Jordan Spieth's going to win it, obviously.
Of course.
Assuming that he's playing in it. Just assume that he is.
And then he's going to win the Grand Slam at the PGA.
Yeah. So enjoy the Wells Fargo and have a good week.